here's something that will hopefully make you think. Eating a high meat diet is a direct benefit to the reptilian agenda, and all of the people who convince you that eating high meat is better for you are individuals who will benefit from your body being at a low vibration, because eating a low meat or high meat diet will keep your body at a lower frequency. It's denser, and it makes you more vulnerable to soul hijacking or body hijacking. Think the show Travelers and Passengers. That is very much a thing. And when you are disconnected from your body, it makes you vulnerable to entities being able to hijack your body. And it is pretty well known and studied and shown frequency and vibrationally that a high meat diet is a lower vibration. And it is also more disconnecting and disembodied for your soul, because that is not how we evolve consciously. And a high fruit and veggie diet lightens the body and increases the vibrational signature of your physical body and your energetic system. Now, it's clear that there's a high level of conditioning involved to convince humanity, or a group of humans, that eating high amounts of dead animal carcass and fluid excrements from animals is better for you, and to convince them that raw fruits and veggies is somehow not conducive to the human body. It's craziness to me. And it just goes to show how a really disconnected human can be easily swayed in a direction that is more beneficial to these reptilian, these entities, whatever you want to call them, that benefit from that, you being on high meat. Because if you just take into account, just think with me for a minute, how many animals are slaughtered every day? It's in the millions, I'm fairly certain. Every single day, to feed humanity. How many souls, sentient beings, are killed so that you can eat a high meat diet that you don't need to do? And then I ask you to question that meat you buy in the store, the pork, the beef, the chicken, the turkey. How do you know that that's actually meat from an animal and not meat from a different source? How do you know where that meat came from? How it's treated, handled, abused, killed. And then you're cooking and consuming that energy. And that is where energy is so potent, so important for wellness. It's everything. Our energy, our frequency, the vibration at which we live at incarnate at is everything. And what you consume creates your entire vibrational signature. And that includes sun, air, the connection with soil, grounding, water, ether, all of the things that we consume to create the body, energetic, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. It's created by what you consume. And there needs to be a little bit more conscious thought and intention behind the why and how of what you're consuming and what it's actually doing to you. And when you're listening to anybody talk about health or food or what's best for your body, what's best nutritionally, which is all bullshit if you ask me, the whole nutrition industry, and I've been deeply in it for a while. It's constantly changing and convincing you something new, bringing you a study to convince you of what is real, what's true, the next new, what's it called? Not just new study, the next new finding. And, oh, here's the bigger part of it too. The idea of an ancestral diet is bullshit. Because we no longer live in a world that your ancestors lived in. We're no longer in a place where we are out hunting and foraging for survival. That's not the world we live in anymore. So we must also adapt with the changing world, be aware of what we're doing, be intentional of how we're consuming. And ironically enough, a lot of the people who are in this high meat trend are also people who overconsume in other areas of their life, in materialistic ways of their life, who are disconnected in other ways, who are addicted to alcohol or mushrooms or weed or whatever it is. So before you're quick to follow what people say, no matter how convincing their argument, really think about the source. Because science doesn't have much credibility, in my opinion, anymore. Studies are often done just to confirm a bias of a company and to serve their benefit. And it's no longer authentic study of scientific method. And quantum physics also has very interesting insights into doing studies ignores the role of the electrical universe, the energetic universe, the divine, and intuition of humans. It ignores the soul and intuitive embodied role of how we behave in the world, and to just point to a study negates all the other factors that are hugely impactful to the way foods or consumption will affect your body and your life. It ignores the individuality factor. It ignores you. So unless a study is done on you specifically, I'd be very cautious what to accept and how much weight should be put on scientific dogma. Has gotten very bad, and it's hard to even trust science anymore because it's been so manipulated. And yes, the reptilian agenda is very deeply embedded in the allopathic system, the political system, the meat and dairy and food system, consumption, plastics, all of these things that harm us, electricity. They're deeply embedded in all of it. Rockefeller is a name I would suggest you dive into.